morning, and welcome to Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics. On today's learning episode, we'll be discussing about ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. Let us now identify the learning objectives. At the end of the learning episode, you're expected to explain the importance of cultural relativism, identify the different characteristics of cultural relativism, enumerate how cultural relativism mitigates ethnocentrism. Let us now proceed to our pretest prior to our lesson. Read and analyze each statement and identify what is asked or described in each item. Write the letter CR if what is being described is about cultural relativism, and EC if what being described is about ethnocentrism. Let us now proceed. Question number 1. It is the idea that a person's beliefs, values, and practices should be understood based on that person's own culture rather than be judged against the criteria of another. Correct answer is CR, or cultural relativism. Question number 2. It often entails the belief that one's own race or ethnic group is the most important, or that some of all aspects of its culture are superior to those of other groups. The correct answer is EC, or ethnocentrism. Question number 3. It does not mean anything a culture or group of people believe is true. The correct answer is cultural relativism. Question number 4. When people find cultural practices and values not their own as disturbing and threatening, it is called ethnocentrism. Final question for our pretest. It does not mean that anything a culture does is good or moral. Correct answer is ethnocentrism. Let us have a recap prior to the lesson this morning. The picture says it all. The picture below best exemplifies heritage. Write the form of heritage on the back provided. You may get a piece of paper to answer it. This type of heritage is perceptible, touchable, or concrete. Do you know what it's called? You are correct. Tangibles. How about this one? It exists intellectually in the cultures and includes. You're good at guessing. It's intangibles. Let's go to our lesson for this morning. Ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. Ethnocentrism is the tendency to use one's own cultural standards and values to judge the behavior and beliefs of people with different culture. It is a cultural universal. That is, people everywhere think that familiar explanations, opinions, and customs are right, true, proper, and moral. Ethnocentrism is a universal attitude. Every society views itself as a center surrounded by a boundary beyond which mankind is less accomplished than inside. Therefore, it is a natural tendency for each of us to believe that our cultural beliefs are the best. However, this prevents us from becoming culturally competent and responsive to others who share different cultural beliefs, tradition, practices, and affiliation. Ethnocentrism has both positive and negative implications. On the positive, ethnocentrism is a mechanism to preserve culture. It promotes people's pride and encourages solidarity among individuals in order to defend their group against internal aggression. It is also ethnocentrism that gives people their sense of peoplehood, group identity, and place in history. On the negative side, too much emphasis on its superiority over other culture may result to violence, oppression, prejudice, discrimination, and stagnation. Cultural relativism is the opposite of ethnocentrism. The view that behavior in one culture should not be judged by the standards of another. For cultural relativists, the values, knowledge, and behavior of people must be understood within their own cultural context. Cultural relativism is the idea that a person's belief, values, and practices should be understood based on that person's own culture rather than be judged against the criteria of another. Some important points about cultural relativism are: cultural relativism does not mean anything a culture or group of people believe is true. Cultural relativism does not mean that anything a culture does is good or moral. Cultural relativism doesn't mean that cultures can be compared. Let's proceed to our activity. Be proud and be loud. Answer the question with a yes or no. I buy local products made in the Philippines. I am proud of my culture. I follow tradition of my roots. I hate it when my fellow countrymen ignore manner. I love everything about being Filipino. If your answer are yes, then you are good at being a true-blooded Filipino. On our next activity, let's give concrete example on the advantage and the disadvantage of ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. You may answer our activity right after the video. How well did you learn? Let us now check how well did you understand our lesson. Let us cite an situation wherein you experience cultural relativism and ethnocentrism. Like I said, you may do the activity separately right after our video lesson. On our valuing part, let us now check if you understand what is ethnocentrism and cultural relativism is. Is ethnocentrism a form of discrimination? Or is cultural relativism a positive trait? Answer the questions after our video. For our post test, read and analyze each statement and identify what is asked or described in each item. Write the letter of your correct answer on another sheet of paper. Question 1. Which of these is an example of ethnocentrism? A. A boy bullying his classmate for being fat. B. People in the city looking down on others. C. A girl who prefers to wear shirts and jeans instead of dresses and jeans. A mother scolding her daughter for not going to church on letter D. The correct answer is letter B. People in the city looking down on others. Question 2. Which of these is an example of ethnocentrism? A. Ethnocentrism promotes patriotism and solidarity. B. Cultural relativism holds the moral principles that are relative. C. Cultural relativism suggests that there are no better or worse culture, just different culture. D. Ethnocentrism that means that the values and behavior of people must be understood within their own cultural context. Correct answer is letter C. Question number 3. Boyd thinks people in India are stupid for not eating cows when most of the population die of hunger and malnutrition. This is an example of A. Ethnocentrism, B. Cultural relativism, C. Xenocentrism, and D. Multiculturalism. The correct answer is A. Ethnocentrism. Question 4. It is when people find cultural practices and values not their own as disturbing and threatening. Letter A. Xenophobia, B. Ethnocentrism, C. Cultural relativism, D. Xenocentrism. The correct answer is C. Cultural relativism. I hope you learned a lot on our lesson for this morning. Fifth and final question. Imagine a man who drives his car every day and has been taught to stay on the right side of the street when he does so. This man then goes to a country where people drive on the left side. What does it imply? A. Cultural relativism, B. Xenophobia, C. Ethnocentrism, D. Xenocentrism. Correct answer is C. Ethnocentrism. I hope you have learned a lot in our lesson for this morning. Until next time, see ya!